Oh yes, here is more progress on the Helix build. As you can see, the first loop is done. And, well, more or less actually. I can't say it's done. 3/4 done. But definitely a lot of progress has been made. And looks pretty good, I'm happy with it. The only slowdown is really waiting for the cork and caulk to dry under the cork. So I let it sit for like 2 hours or something, and then I go and put the track down. And I started first with the caulk. Here you can see I used the caulk to secure the track, and I don't know, that had to sit for an hour or two as well. I didn't like it was slowing me down. Then I thought about using these other screws, which were the truss head screws. I bought them from Amazon, but I didn't like that either, because somehow they're too big, and then this is a birch, marine grade I guess, or just Baltic birch, whatever, surface, so they're kind of tough to go into it, and then I would have to pre-drill the holes, but then they have to be big holes and stuff. I said, that's too much. So I ended up trying my end scale track screws. I had track screws from the previous build of end scale layout, so I used those. And actually I'm waiting for the HO screws to come in, but here are the super tiny end scale screws. Well, they look like spikes, but they're actually screws. So I'm using that for now, and I can't really zoom in because this camera doesn't have macro and the light's not good here. But they're there. You can feel them. There's one here. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe you can. Well, anyways, there it is. And then the PEX tubing is the spacers. Now that I'm over the first loop, everything is 3.5. The PEX is 3.5 inches, so it makes it really easy to cut. And I've got this tool. It was like 20 bucks. It's really affordable, and actually this one is really good. It has good reviews and whatnot, so I just use this to cut the PEX tubing to 3.5 inches, and it all goes fast. As I said, you know, the only slowdown is cork. But I go and I measure and I check the angles, I mean the radii of the track as well, and then I put the screws about, I guess, the width of my fingers between my thumb and my pinky. That's about, I don't know, 10 inches maybe. I don't even know how much that is. Let's just check. 9. Well, whatever. So far it's holding well, and I think I'm gonna just continue. And I have HO screws on order, so I'll just switch to HO when the time comes. But I don't think, I mean, matters. And really, you don't need to have screws that are too long. I mean, I think using the end scale cork and the ties here on the Pico, that's about 3 or 4 millimeters. And sorry, it's 5 or 6, and then the screws I'm using are 10, so there is another 5 or so into the road bed, into the plywood. But you just need like a tack, even, like it doesn't really need that much because these are screws, so they're not gonna come out. You just have to make sure that your holes are just tight enough for the screw to grip, and then, you know, keep going. I also did the wiring, so I've used this multi-conductor wires, so each has 4 pairs. Since I have 8 levels and then 2 tracks, that's 16 wires, and then the detection will go into the board underneath there. Right now it's just shorted all so that I can run trains and test. I don't have the Railcom boards made, and then there are some trains here that I use to test this, and maybe I'll do a video of that when I get further along with this, because it's still not exciting. I need to finish more of the of the second loop, and then I'll do a video of the trains going up and down. Here is the next segment. I've managed to get some wiring done on the second loop, so there is power going there. It's only actually half a loop, but nevertheless you can see some trains run. Here's a Fairbanks Morse HS16, I think, New Haven. Only pulling 2 cars, but it's a test. I think the decoder needs to be reprogrammed or something. That's a good sound though. It's gonna go around there and come out here. And here's that wiring for the block. So this is the next block now. So where the next loop starts. Okay, let's get the other one going. This one just takes off. I've put it to, you can't see that. Oh jeez, it's really dark. I mean bright. Oh well. At 40 it just takes off, but then this 2.5% grade kind of slows it down. I don't even know how many cars it can pull, this K4, but it's a Bachmann 462. But nevertheless, that's the outer track, 28.5 inches. So it's about 2.2% grade, and then there is the 1 point something percent additional for the curvature, so ends up being 3 point something probably. Oh, let's just stop it there. And let's get the other one down. It's pretty exciting. Trains are running. Up the Helix and down the Helix. They got nowhere to go, but the track works, seems okay. It doesn't have any derailment so far, and doesn't short anywhere, it doesn't lose any power anywhere. So far so good. I think I need to fix this. This thing here, where it, where the incline joins the bench work, because it's down there. Yeah. So there is like a trough here. It dips down, and that's because I've sanded the cork here, but then I guess the sanding portion is only several inches. It probably should have been much longer. I guess, you know, I wasn't thinking about it at the time. Let's get this one going as well. Just takes off. The chuffing doesn't match the actual motion, so it needs some programming. I mean, that should be chuffing a lot. And you can see it there when it goes over the trough. Oh, slow it down a bit. I didn't have time to program the decoder yet, so it doesn't matter. What matters is that the Helix is working okay. So there we have it. I'm gonna continue doing more. Okay, here is the next Helix update. So here we are. We're at the 4th loop, more or less. I still need to do the other half of the 3rd one to climb to the 4th one, but we are there with the bench work. And so this is the place where the outside track needs to come off and then go over the swing gate and then actually enter the layout. into the Cape Charles area. So this is what I'm thinking of doing. It's a bit of insane in the membrane moment again, or thinking, but that's just how it is here, you know. That's the setup I have. The Helix is neither here nor there. It's not inside the room, it's not outside the room. So the track comes up from there, climbs up, and then branches off here. Technically, you should then merge from the level that you branch off further down, but I can't because I'm outside the room, and so I'll be merging before I branch off. And the way I'm gonna do it is I'm gonna put a crossing. Yeah, and this is a curved crossing. Well, this track is curved, this one is straight, or has some kind of easement. We'll see. I was thinking to just use one of the short crossings and then have a short section of 24" on each side. Because usually the curve here is 28 on the outside, 28.5, so it's not gonna be a big deal going 24. I mean, I'll ease back in, but the whole point is that once you complete the circle around the first level, first deck, then you come back, cross over here, and then cross a diamond, and then you continue going up. So then this track branches off into the gate. This track takes place of that track on the outside and then goes climbing back up. This track on the inside is going to be getting tighter, starting somewhere over there to like a 24" or 25" radius from 26. This one is going to get wider from 28.5 to 28.75, something like that again, just to push them apart more so that the third track can squeeze here for another 2 feet maybe, or so, 3. Maybe longer, because I mean, I guess I need to ease in there. So that's what I'm thinking right now. It's kind of a crazy idea. That's how originally I wanted to do it. Okay, here is the next Helix update. In my never-ending pursuit of making my life difficult, I've kit bashed a diamond crossing out of only Pico diamond I had on hand, and it had shorter rails and everything, and so let's see if we can do this. So I end up extending all the rails, basically pulling them out of the ties and then extending and stuff. And I used my fast tracks jigs to sharpen the tips, but I guess I could have hand laid the diamond. I just didn't want to go that far. I think they should work. So it's supposed to go somewhere there. The angle is not as shallow as it's supposed to be, but this is 30 degrees. It's gonna work, and there is enough room clearance for cars to pass. So now I'm gonna continue finally and start tightening the curves and broadening the curves to make some room for the third one. I'm not sure how I'm gonna do this yet here, because you see that the height here is lower than the height of the actual first level benchwork. So might actually go lower there, and then it's gonna be maybe a bridge or something. I don't know. We'll see. Might have to actually start descending down over a couple of feet to meet this. It's only 3/4 inch difference, so, or an inch, something like that. I don't know. It's not a big deal. It's short. So yeah, that's where we stand. I'm gonna now do this other stuff, and then the next update will be hopefully the track there. I'm pleased to say that my crazy idea has been completed successfully, I would say. That crossing inside the Helix, the diamond, there it is. It seems to work, although I don't have anything connecting from this side. That's actually going to connect to the first deck. And trains will cross and then continue climbing up the Helix. From that direction, it's climbing up from staging, and then it's gonna branch off and then go over the swing gate. And I managed to frame the entryway. That took a long time. Just these two little frames, while I was fiddling with dimensions, and I want to make sure that it's exactly 31 1/4 everywhere, so that when you put the door jambs, they're 5/8. You have 5/8 and 5/8. That's 1 1/4, and then you end up with a 30 opening, which is, I guess, standard, whatever. It's 30, 32, 34, whatever. I don't think it matters because I'm not going to put the door there. It's going to be a swing gate. I still need to drive all this and mud it and sand it. I hate sanding, and paint it. So yeah, but for now, there is the fourth deck. This was technically the most important or most difficult part that I had to resolve or figure out. Hey, here is a next update. I'm not sure where we stopped last time. I guess Helix is done. So we got 7 levels, and then the 8th one goes around and through the wall, and I opened the wall up, finished that portal, and now the track needs to go through it. But I guess I'm just gonna do the track up to it because I don't have the upper deck yet, and this opening is slightly higher than the surface. I think the surface comes up to here, so I still have another 1/2 inch or something, so I might have to do like some kind of a incline starting there just to climb up to this height here, and then I might have to use risers or something, whatever, to match that level. Maybe those woodland scenics or something like that. I don't think it needs much. Those 1/2 inch or whatever, like, I don't know, 1%. Anyway, I've been testing with the water rack whether it can pass underneath there, the bridge there, because I figure out auto rack is the tallest car in any fleet, and beside the double stacks, but I don't have any double stacks, and auto rack is just fine because you don't need to worry about the containers on the double stacks. Anyways, it has about, I don't know, that's like 1/4 inch maybe clearance, so I think it's okay. But what happened here is that with the 7th loop or 8th loop, I've started to descend slightly, so I've descended a 1/4 inch down, and that's why there is less space between these two sections as opposed to these sections, which are 3.5 inches. Over there is just 3 1/4, or 3 even, and that's because I wanted to come down here as much as I can. If I didn't do that, this would have been even higher, so I would have had to start climbing up even further away. So yeah, with this I just need to start climbing like maybe 30 inches or 24 inches away from this. So that's the Helix update. I guess we can call it finished more or less. I'm starting to run this track and then tight washers. In the other news, I've been testing with the 2 trains, Bachmann K4s. They're crap. If you want power to pull, get a PFM brass or something that's not Bachmann K4. The 482s, 462s, these ones, this one barely pulls up the Helix. It's 2.5% Helix. I mean, I would assume they should pull up, even on steeper grades because it's HO. I come from N, and I know N doesn't pull that great unless you multi-unit the trains up the Helix, right? Especially steam. But in HO, I mean, I don't know, maybe it's not heavy enough, but I just don't think they're good because the other ones, I think they're better. Although, I mean, I have the 282s and 280s. They're more like road switchers than road locomotives. So the H16 over there, the New Haven, that one doesn't seem to have a problem pulling up the Helix, and those cars that it's pulling, they're weighted actually, so there are extra weights in them to match the NMRA standard. So I don't know. I mean, I kind of regret getting all these Bachmanns now that that I know that they don't really pull that great, but I'm still on the fence what I'm doing. Am I going to stay in the steam, or will I just move into diesel only? I'm right now, you know, transition. So I have steam, I have diesel, and we'll see. That's about it for this update. Thanks for watching for now, and more to come.